Good morning, LKN 748. Happy Tuesday to you. This time of the week, we like checking in at the beginning with Jason Drum of Drum Landscape Supply, your local one-stop landscape shop located in Statesville, but serving all of Lake Norman. Jason and his team deliver to all of Lake Norman, and they've got over 10,000 offerings for you, whether you need plants, trees, perennials, annuals. Also, before you know it, it's going to be Christmas time. But before it becomes Christmas time, you got to seed the lawn
That's
because you want to
right.
prep in the fall.
That's right.
And then maybe you're doing the stonework, or maybe you're needing more mulch, or you need the pine needle. Whatever you need for across your lawn and garden, Jason and his team, they've got you. Good morning, Jason. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Doing well. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day yesterday.
Absolutely, yes, sir. So you shaved a little bit there. I see the little change going on. You look good.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I got a little haircut there, so decided I would clean up my face too and see if I could look a little bit younger, maybe.
Nah, you look great. You look great. Thanks for joining us this morning. It's raining outside today. Spoiler if you hadn't looked outside yet. I imagine the plants and the trees and the shrubs and everything likes that right now.
Yeah, this is what we need for the spring. Good slow rain to really soak the ground in and get those plant roots growing and well established before the summer heat.
Thinking of the perennials versus the annuals, does that matter? Because the annuals are the ones that just live for the 1 year,
Right.
and so
Yeah.
do they need like less or more water than perennials? Because they have a short life, kind of anyway, right? Like, so do they need less water? I don't want to be mean to the annuals or anything like that either. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, there's so perennials and annuals generally need less water than trees and shrubs to get established. However, you will have an establishment period with annuals, and some need more than others. So we like to sell and have our customers plant the ones that don't take as much care. So annual flowers like vincas, begonias, petunias, they tend to take a lot less water, but there are some that take more. So just make sure you know what you're planting when you get into it. But those and perennials generally take more like 4 to 6 weeks for establishment, where trees and shrubs can take 1 to 2 years.
Thunderstorms, it's not even necessarily like a lot of rain, like copious amounts, but like it can come down kind of heavy sometimes in our area. You know what I mean? And I'll
Yeah.
come out to my lawn or my garden in the morning after it rains, and it might have been a heavy rain, and the plants are like kind of pushed down. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like it's like looks like something like was dropped on it or anything like that. Is there anything that we need to do to be aware of that to prevent, or is it no? They're the way that they handle themselves, they can handle it just fine. I just feel a little nervous when I come out sometimes when I see that.
Yeah, younger trees and shrubs could definitely stand staking if they don't have very strong stems. And you really kind of know that from the first rain, like you're talking about there. Plants like I have peonies in my yard, and they really got hammered from that heavy rainstorm we had about a month ago. Just laid them on the ground. So you'd have to stake those and kind of create a support ring around them to hold the blooms up. But yeah, the best thing to do there is a lot of your plants will bounce back from that naturally and just kind of go back upwards after the after all the water goes off the leaves and relieves the pressure from that. But if they don't, then you can certainly stake them. The main thing there is just to remember not to use anything that would cut into the stem. So you want to use either like a plastic stretch tie, like we sell there at Drum Landscape Supply, or if you need to use rope to support them, use a little bit of an old rubber hose or something like that, just so it doesn't cut into the bark and create problems down the road.
I have some that like some plants that I've had in the ground for years. I think they're mature. I'm assuming they're mature, but they still have the stake. Is the stake hurting them at this point? Is it like holding them back from growing, you think, at all? Because like I kind of just left it there
Mhm.
from when I originally planted it. It's still kind of there. Some of them I just kind of lean back on it, but just to kind of keep it
Yeah.
there. Does that hurt it at all to leave it staked too long?
I mean, it could possibly, cutting into the bark is the main thing that it might, to hurt there. So generally, trees and shrubs need that support for about 1 to 2 years. So if you've had a stake in there for 2 years and you can feel that that shrub or tree is very stable, then you can go ahead and remove that. And you try to pull it straight out of the ground to see if it'll release that way. And if you can't, you can cut it at ground level and then take a hammer to further drive it into the ground, because it's most likely a wood stake and that will eventually rot away. So, but yeah, I see trees that are guy wired. Some municipalities require that, and they'll leave it on there for 3-5 years, and ends up hurting the tree more than it ended up helping it. So, while I'm a fan of staking trees when they need it, I also don't think that you should stake everything. So it's kind of a case by case basis.
Jason, you've been doing this almost 2 decades, so by all account, you are the expert at all of this. Give us the insight into your mind, because you guys have with over 10,000 offerings there at Drum Landscape Supply. It's a rainy day. What's going through your mind right now as far as at the nursery and things like that? Where's your head at on a day like this when it rains, and it just probably changes the day up a little bit, if I had to guess?
Yeah. So, like most people in the landscape industry, the first thing you think of, or the last thing you think of when you go to bed is, who's going to come in today? Who do I need to call? So, first thing I did was text my delivery driver and said, "Hold up, we'll be back in contact with you." And then, as my employees come into the office now, that's the first thing we'll do. We'll call our deliveries for the day. If they can still take it on a paved driveway, we'll still deliver it if they want it. But then we'll reschedule. But days like today really help me and help our office staff to get caught up on things that we just can't get to whenever we have folks coming in the door all the time. So this gives us a little break to get some planning done, make sure some things, anything that we need to take care of is getting done today, like equipment maintenance. And then also, we're actually getting ready to switch to a new version of our software for QuickBooks. So that'll be a big project for today. And a rainy day like this really helps us to do that almost uninterrupted. So rain days are good for us. Just gives us a little bit of break, but we'll be ready for that sun to shine again.
And no doubt, and all those plants getting that nice fresh watering going on too, so they'll be nice and healthy there at Drum Landscape Supply, your local one-stop landscape shop. DrumLandscapeSupply.com is the website you can go to, and you can check out all the different offerings and products. Topsoil is something that can be important, right, for plants as well. Does every plant, when you plant it, need a little bit of topsoil, or no? Is that a myth out there? What's the game? What's the game with topsoil?
Yeah, so topsoil or a planting mix. Most trees and shrubs would really benefit from about 1/3 of that, whatever you buy in the bag, mixed to about 2/3 of your native clay. So you don't want to just dig the hole and then fill it with that bagged soil or soil amendment, because then the roots may not want to grow outside of that really good soil. They may just stay in soil and not break into the surrounding clay. So generally, you want to mix it in with the clay, so that it gives us some good organic matter. It helps to drain better, but then it will eventually grow into the clay soil. So everything we sell at Drum Landscape Supply can really likes our soil that we have here. A lot of folks say, "Oh, I've got old clay; it's not good for anything," and it's actually good for a lot of things in moisture retention and also nutrient retention too. Because if you have a real sandy soil, all those nutrients just wash on down to the next layer. So having our clay soil does help in a lot of ways. You just got to make sure that there is enough drainage to sufficiently drain away from the root ball within a 24-hour period. So yeah, using a soil amendment, we use Daddy Pete's Lawn and Garden soil as our main planting mix, and we've had really good success throughout the years with that.
Sometimes too, you see, and maybe you see it in neighborhoods when you drive around, you start seeing the sidewalks like lifting up and
Mhm.
the roots and stuff like
Mhm.
that. What are some of those trees that make like the real big roots, Jason, that you know of that like, hey, if you're going to plant this in your yard, you can,
You gotta have
but
plenty
you,
of room.
you just
Yeah.
want to use a little bit of caution in this.
Yeah, so the number one tree I see that is planted in the wrong place would be the red maples, like your large growing shade tree maples. They need a large area for their roots to spread out, and grass or actually mulch is a lot better than that. So I see those planted in like island beds for restaurants and different things like that. And they're just not going to live very long. The restricted root growth area for red maples is just not going to work in the long term. I see that. And then We see willow trees. They will go for water lines, even if you have like a buried water line in the ground coming from your well. It will condensate on the outside, and that willow tree will find that. So you don't want to plant them anywhere near septic fields or water lines. So there's certainly trees like that, but then there's also trees that can withstand those tight urban conditions. Um, so it's all about having the deep roots. I mean, elm trees, ones you see planted in downtown Statesville, fringe trees. There's quite a few what you would term as street trees. So it's just making sure you choose the right tree for the right place. And that's what myself and my staff can help you do for your landscape, just to make sure that, it doesn't only look pretty for the first year or two that you plant it, but it's a long-term tree that's going to give you, benefits and then add value to your property throughout the years.
Jason Drum, Drum
Very nice.
Landscape Supply, drumlandscapesupply.com, your local one-stop landscape shop. Jason, we so appreciate you joining us early on in the week. Hope you and the fam had a great weekend, and hope things on the admin side go well for you and your team. You got to look. It's not magic. You got to keep up with it too to keep delivering that great service to folks, and we so appreciate you.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, and appreciate y'all, and we'll catch up with you later this week.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
good.
Jason Drum, Drum
Take
Landscape
care.
Supply. All right, good morning, fam. On the other side, at the top of the hour, we got Christine Patterson. She's the Director of Experience and Engagement for the town of Mooresville. Also have Varsity Zone HVAC of Mooresville, Patrick Reynolds from the Home Ed Show. He'll be joining us, too.
Experience hands make your dream complete. Drum Landscape Supply, your garden suite.